start here in a couple minutes. That's me. I have my computer. I don't you don't
Everyone, please take your seats. The program is beginning. Please take your seats. Thank you very much.
That direction becomes our strategic plan. And that plan If you take a look at just one day in Montgomery County, you'll see a powerful story of work, service, and progress. Water flowing safely into homes, families getting support, businesses growing, animals cared for, emergencies answered. That's not coincidence, that's coordination. Montgomery County serves more than 537,000 residents, delivering essential services in public safety, health, infrastructure, and social services. And it starts with how we plan. Here, our budget sets direction. That direction becomes our strategic plan. And that plan turns into real programs and real results across our county. Take infrastructure and environment. Environmental Services keeps clean drinking water flowing to more than 80,000 customers, maintains over 2,600 miles of water and sewer lines, and manages recycling, solid waste, and hazardous materials, while pushing sustainability forward.
It takes a special kind of person to actually sit and be able to do this work every single day and still get up and come in the next day.
We are also focused on opportunity and growth. Workforce connects people to jobs and training, and through YouthWorks, we're helping young people build skills that lead to self-sufficiency and long-term careers.
This is an awesome place here. They got awesome people that work here, and I would highly recommend anybody that's looking for a job to make this the first place they come to.
Community and economic development attracts employers and supports reinvestment. Building regulations helps projects move from plans to reality in 17 jurisdictions. And the Animal Resource Center protects public safety while caring for pets who need help and homes.
We're huge advocates for animals. We all love animals. I think that's why everybody took the job, is to kind of help out the best that they can.
Then there's care and stability. Human Services steps in when families need it most through children's services, child support, and family assistance programs like Medicaid, child care, and food assistance.
To know that the county understands the impact that these funds are making for us here at the food bank, but also for the 122 other nonprofits that we serve, is just remarkable.
Human Services also makes up about 42% of the county's billion-dollar budget. And for more than 40 years, thanks to voters, the Human Services Levy has guided funding for these critical services. Stillwater Center provides specialized care for residents with developmental disabilities, offering a safe, supportive environment with around-the-clock medical care, therapeutic services, and programs that preserve dignity and improve quality of life.
So it's a good feeling to know that she's in here and being taken care of.
While the Homeless Solutions Policy Board works toward long-term housing solutions. Holding it all together is smart, reliable government. Administrative Services supports every department through finance, technology, facilities, and safety. Emergency Management prepares for what we hope never happens, while the Office of Strategic Initiatives focuses on planning for our growth and long-term impact. Within Strategic Initiatives, the Office of Reentry supports individuals returning from incarceration as they rebuild their lives, strengthening families and our entire community. The Fatherhood Initiative also works to empower fathers with the tools and support they need to be active, engaged parents.
The program has uplifted me to be a better person, gentleman, dad, father, because I didn't have it in my life.
Different work, different needs, one county team. More than 4,000 employees power this effort every day, guided by strategy, funded responsibly, and focused on people. This isn't just a list of departments, it's a system that works, and it's working for our neighbors who call Montgomery County home. This is your county, moving, adapting, and building what comes next.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2026 State of the County. My name is Michael Colbert, and I'm the Montgomery County Administrator. And on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, I welcome you here today and thank you for being here. Please give a round of applause for our communications team. That video was awesome. I also want to thank Sheriff Streck and his team for security today, and our gracious hosts. I think I saw President Johnson come in, Steve Johnson and St. Clair. Please give a round of applause for them. Today, we are pleased to welcome leaders from across business, government, education, healthcare, nonprofits, faith-based organizations, whose collaboration and leadership are essential to the continued growth and success of Montgomery County. A special thank you to our state and county elected officials for your continued support and commitment. Most importantly, thank you all for your partnership in making Montgomery County a great place to work and play. At this time, would all of our elected officials, state, local, and county, please stand to be recognized. I would also like to recognize our assistant county administrators and department directors across the county for their leadership and dedication. Thank you for your support. We are also proud to have all of our county team here today. They are the ones that work hard to keep Montgomery County moving. If you are a Montgomery County employee, please stand and be recognized, and let's give them a round of applause. Looking at our 2020-2024 strategic plan, we delivered, we stayed focused. We invested in infrastructure across the county. We improved services, and we made operations more efficient and more responsive. In 2025, we launched a new strategic plan built on collaboration, data, and a clear vision for the future of Montgomery County. It reinforces our commitment to strong operations and responsible stewardship, economic development, economic growth, and well-being of our community. Now, please join me in welcoming our three Montgomery County Commissioners to the stage, whose leadership and vision guide everything we do. Commission President Carolyn Rice. Commissioner Rice is deeply involved in economic development and community revitalization through her leadership with the Land Bank and is a strong advocate for young people. She also serves on the Homeless Solutions Policy Board and multiple emergency management boards, helping strengthen the county's response to crisis and support vulnerable populations. Commissioner Carolyn Rice. Commissioner Mary McDonald. Commissioner McDonald is active in the arts and culture and recently hosting the first Montgomery County Arts Forum. She also focuses on youth and adult workforce development and works closely with our municipalities to strengthen community programs and opportunities across our region. Commissioner Mary McDonald. Commissioner D. Judy Dodd. Commissioner Dodge is a strong advocate for food access and public health. She established the county's Food Equity Coalition to promote access to affordable, healthy food. Commissioner Dodge also serves as director of the Region 8 One Ohio Recovery Board, supporting families affected by the opiate crisis and working to reduce the stigma around addiction. Commissioner Judy Dodge. Please give a round of applause for your Montgomery County Commissioners. We are also honored today to welcome the Marsha Bonhart back as this year's moderator. Marsha is an award-winning, distinguished with 30-year career in Montgomery County in journalism. Marsha brings experience, insight, and a familiar voice to today's event. Please join me in welcoming Marsha Bonhart. Marsha, the stage is yours.
All right, thank you so very much. Hello, Commissioners. Hello. Ready to talk about work and progress in this county, right? Absolutely. Well, we are going with Commissioner Rice, and this is perfect because in a short conversation that I had with her earlier, we're going to talk about environmental services right now, and that is, I found out she's a STEM girl. You know, she likes all this stuff, you know, the dirt and water and all that. Good time with it. So we talked to our resident STEM person. This topic, of course, affects just about everybody, not just about everybody. Environmental services. The county has been investing in water and sewer infrastructure, including replacing aging mains and securing grants to make these improvements. So can you share more about these efforts?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. This just makes me smile that we are able to tell just a glimpse of our story of what the important role that we play. So thank you for being here. And as we said, we're kicking it off with environmental services. And I just want to give you an idea of the magnitude of our operations. It is no small endeavor that we have. We provide water and sewer services to more than 230,000 customers. 230,000, that's no small number. We treat 22 million gallons of water every day. A lot of water. We also, the environmental services team, just to give you a better idea, we oversee 2 treatment plants. We manage 11 water pumping stations, 14 water storage facilities, and thousands of water and sewer mains. And just to kind of put it in perspective, if you line them up in a row, it would stretch from here all the way to Colorado. That's how long those services go. To Denver, I think it's the sewers go to Denver and the water would go all the way to Grand Junction. That's a long distance. And this is an extremely large system. Now, with a large system like that, it's very important that we strategically invest in our infrastructure. And why do we invest in the infrastructure? Because it is incredibly important that it is reliable and safe. I know that all of you count on us. The minute it didn't work, it would be the most important thing in your daily schedule. So, she said, we are replacing water mains that some of them are over 100 years old. So we have to keep up with it because the last thing you want to have happen is to have it break and not be on a plan and then it's a real crisis. So that's what we're doing. We are making these major investments because it is and upgrades. Keep up with it because it's a smart and great thing to do. So once again, it's devoted to reliability and supporting the growth that so many of our communities are experiencing. Now, nearly $10 million is being invested in upgrades of our Western Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant, and that is located in West Carrollton. It's kind of out of the way, you might not have seen it, but it's a very important location. And that'll include a new generator and building renovations. Since 2018, we've invested over $210 million in our water and sewer systems across the county. And that is included, we've taken advantage of $19 million in grants. So we get grants whenever we can. Now, the bottom line, we take all these steps and we make all these investments because we are focused on efficiency, being good stewards, and delivering results for our community. Once again, it is the right thing to do.
To move on from talking about water and dirt to solid waste now. The county is looking for ways to improve customer service at the solid waste district. So we asked now Commissioner Dodge, can you share some of the enhancements that are?
Sure. Well, again, thank you for being here. Can you hear me? Because the green light didn't go off on my microphone. Is this on? I deliberately broke it when I was sitting there. All right, see? Anyway, thank you. I'm a little nervous. Right here, I'm looking at the executive staff here, and I know they're going to raise their hand and tell me if I say something wrong. So thank you guys. Anyway, some of the services that we provide, they're unique just to Montgomery County. We're very intentional about what we prioritize and fund. For example, not every county operates trash services like we do. Our transfer station serves or saves local communities money, reduces travel, and is more environmentally efficient. We're also making it easier for customers to access solid waste services with new software, offering simple online and phone payments, tap to pay, emailed invoices, 24/7 account access, and overall more reliable service. And that's what everybody wants. At the same time, we're improving the transfer station to make it safer, faster, and so much easier to use. The construction bidding process is expected to begin this fall. Planned improvements include separate entrances for public and commercial traffic to ease congestion, expanded public tipping areas, and relocated free service for better accessibility. And we're also upgrading roads with improved signage and traffic signals.
So I was also speaking earlier this morning about that tipping. So if you guys didn't know, you can actually go over there and see them dump all the trash. See the trucks just, it's called tipping. That's what it does, it tips. So if you ever had, a free day, free afternoon, you can always just stop by and see how the trucks tip.
Anytime, come and look at traffic getting done.
Coming down, Job and Training Center, Forest Park, it's right over there on Main Street. Wondering what was gonna happen to it, thank you to everyone for making some good use of this, because the county recently shared some exciting news. This is about the construction of the new Job and Training Center there in Harrison Township. Can you tell us why this project is so important and the benefits it will bring to the community?
Absolutely, and thank you so much, Marcia, and thank you all for joining us here today. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to serve people in Montgomery County by this location. We couldn't do the work that we're doing here without all of you being a part of this. We're in the process of purchasing land at Forest Park for the new job center and training center, and many of you know the history of that area over there, Forest Park. It was so important to many in the northern corridor. It does make such a great difference. This is another great example of significant capital investment we are making to improve our infrastructure. This center will provide services, technology, and access for residents. Taking these steps to move from renting to owning will save money for the county and for each and every one of you in the long run. There are no new levies and no human services levy dollars being used to fund this project. The center will be located near key county services along Main Street. This project supports economic growth and workforce opportunities. It also revitalizes the historic community site. We expect to close on this summer. And we're so excited to work with Harrison Township. They are phenomenal partners for the county, and as we continue to grow together, we continue to watch our county grow as well.
Commissioner Dodge, the county has long supported downtown Dayton's growth. The courthouse square to the Dayton Dragon, of course, the convention center, hotel development, and more than that. So can you talk about the county's latest efforts of the historic courthouse that opened its doors to the public?
Yes, I'm so excited because the old historic courthouse in downtown Dayton at 3rd and Main was built in 1847, a couple years before I was born. We're going to make it now a rentable venue for weddings, meetings, all sorts of activities there. So we're so excited about that. So this is going to be, give more people things to do downtown, restaurants, all sorts of places to go. So we're very excited about adding to the spirit of downtown Dayton. It's a smart investment in our downtown and a responsible way to preserve a historic asset. We've been very deliberate now with our funding to maximize impact. We are pursuing an additional $1 million grant that will support the second floor renovation. Reservations are now open, and I know you're going to get on your phone now and try to have a meeting there. It's on our website, mcohio.org, and just search event spaces. So I know you're going to love it. So we've been working very hard, and I just love that old courthouse.
Mm-hmm. Behavioral health project safety net for Commissioner Rice. The county's facilities team is making significant progress on another important project, and that is the new behavioral health unit at the Montgomery County Jail. Can you share how this unit will help address behavioral health needs, and at the same time, it's going to support inmates and staff as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. So it is really exciting because this is something we've talked about for a long time, and it's really starting to take shape. A couple of years ago, I was part of a task force on this, and we got stakeholders from every aspect of touching these clients. And we got together, and one of the recommendations was to build such a unit. And so we've really taken a lot of expertise and community insights into what we're doing. So this is going to be state of the art. The new facility actually, there's been a huge change in the, I would say, the health of inmates who are coming in. And so this will help to address those changes. We are going from currently 12 beds. The new unit will have 112 beds. So more than 100 additional beds. And the unit is going to repurpose the space so that it can deal with really detox individuals who are going through detox. They've been on something and they're getting off of it, as well as suicide prevention and just enhanced intake, because a lot of these individuals are not healthy just in general. So we want to make sure that we're able to address those needs. This is really a growing need of behavioral health and addiction services. It's not just here in Montgomery County. It's not just the state of Ohio. It is actually the whole nation. So we're responding to this in the best way that we can. This will improve our care while enhancing, as you already mentioned, the safety, not only for the inmates or the individuals who find themselves coming into the facility, but for our staff as well. So it is really a win-win. We are fully funding this, gratefully through ARPA and through the opioid settlement that we received. So it seemed like a great way to put that money to a positive use. We've also received, and I was quite surprised when we got it, but we've been asking for more than $13 million from the state to support ongoing jail renovations. And so we're incredibly appreciative of that, because that will let us do even more than what we had designed and make the general building that much better. Construction is expected to be completed by mid-2027. And I haven't checked it out, but I'm told we can see pictures on our website if you want to see it as it goes along. It will actually be, I can't wait for when we actually get to open that up. Now, the other thing you mentioned was our safety net portal, and I'm incredibly excited about that because that also was a joint effort and recommendation that we have it. So it's basically the idea of no wrong door. So whether an individual who's in crisis shows up in an emergency room, in our jail, law enforcement, wherever they show up in a behavior unit, that we are creating this portal that it abides by all the HIPAA and all of that, but it will be able to quickly identify who this individual is and get them the right care as soon as possible at the right time. So, you know, if you're in crisis, you're not always the best person to talk about to what you need and what's going on. So I'm very excited with that coming along. And so our goal, and you hear this over and over and over, but is to give people the right service they need at the right time as quickly as possible and to be there for them. So it is, I'm incredibly excited about it. We've completed phase 2 and we're on phase 3.
Thank you, Commissioner. And again, you mentioned the website, as Commissioner Dodge mentioned, see all of these things, it is still ncohio.org.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, if everybody, ncohio.org. Job fairs, Commissioner McDonald. The county regularly hosts job fairs and certainly invests in workforce training for in-demand skills. Can you tell us why these efforts matter, and can you talk about the impact that this has on local businesses, folks who are looking for jobs, and the entire community?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you again. Our job fairs are just the ultimate. You know, to have citizens come looking for jobs, they're able to get their resumes made there, be able to share them, and have employers on the site are absolutely incredible for us. Our job fairs connect residents directly with employers and real job opportunities. They help people find stable work faster, supporting families for financial security. They also give employers access to a strong local talent pool. These efforts strengthen the local economy by increasing employment and workforce readiness. They create a space for networking, resources, and career growth. Our workforce development team does an amazing job connecting residents with opportunities. They also provide job fairs for specific populations that best meet their needs. This year, for the very first time, we had a job fair for our older adults, and we continue hosting reverse job fairs for returning citizens. At our fall job fair last year, we had about 1,700 job seekers and nearly 130 employers. Our spring job fair is coming soon, May 6th, from 12 to 4, and it's at the Dayton Convention Center. And I urge anyone that is looking for meaningful employment to please take advantage of this opportunity. When you have everything happening in one space, that is what it's all about. We can get you to work as fast as we can.
So this county make sure that young folks work?
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure that you're mature people work? Because that silver is gold program, I think we actually had a couple of those. And very successful. And they, you know, a lot of people who are retired, want to go back to work, or just some folks who are not working at all, who are of a certain age, you get a chance to go to work.
Correct.
YouthWorks, Commissioner Dodd, since 1999, Montgomery County's YouthWorks program has helped young people gain real-world skills and career experience. How has this made a difference with our young people?
You know, I have 2 grandsons that I can imagine that, thank heavens, they're so involved in sports. It gives them something to do as opposed to playing games on their cell phone and everything else. So this is so critical that we invest in our youth because they're our future workforce. So you know, we really have to pay attention to this. And this is just why I feel so passionate about this, because YouthWorks serves students ages 14 and up in building skills, confidence, and real work experience. And we've had at our county building there during the summer, and they're just cute as they can possibly be. I'm just so proud of them. You know, it's open to full-time students across the county, and last year alone, we had more than 1,600 youth that participated. The program supports local businesses with motivated young workers while offering our youth year-round resources like mentoring, tutoring, leadership development, and financial literacy. Most importantly, it helps young people stay on track in school and move confidently into careers or higher education. Youth Works builds a stronger workforce and a brighter future for our community. And so I'm just very proud of our Youth Works organization and how we do help these kids.
Starting good young.
I wish we could do more.
Commissioner Rice, last year you spearheaded the Dayton Public Schools Career Expo, and that gave 10th graders a chance to connect with county departments. Why is it important for students to get this early exposure to county government, and how do you see that it helps them envision meaningful careers in their own communities?
I gotta tell you, this is just a pet project of mine, so I get terribly excited. I have been studying and working with our Business Advisory Council with all the school districts and what we really need to do. And we found out, research shows, that if you have a very engaging introduction to careers, that you really capture young people. And I would say I'm an older young person, it captures me too. So what we've done, we did 2 of the career fairs with Dayton Public Schools. And you're right, we did one in May, and then we did the other one in October. We found out in May we did seniors, it was kind of busy at that time, and we decided that it was better to start earlier freshmen and sophomores in October. And we had each one of them, about 250 students come, and the only employer was us, because in public service, we have every imaginable career you can imagine, and each one of those careers is valued. It plays a role in public service. So what we did, and I'm sure my staff went, what? Then we said it has to be an interactive. You can't just stand behind a table and pass out brochures and talk at students. They will go to sleep. They will not get engaged. And so we had interactive. We had virtual reality goggles. We had all kinds of stuff. And what we found out, not only did the students awesomely love everything, they were getting in lines twice, but we found out that our employees themselves enjoy kind of, showing their stuff to young people and what they love about their careers. So it's been very successful. Erin Dooley at Dayton Public Schools said, this is the best career fair ever. And I have to give a shout out to the workforce development team that helped us, because the minute they got off the bus, just like we do in our career fairs, they were clapping and they felt like they were going into the Super Bowl. And they were so excited to see the smiles on their face. And we actually have an individual that works on our Youth Works team who had come through the system, who had done Youth Works and taken advantage, because what we're trying to get across is that we are a great place to work. And that you can start with us, and we will help you get certified, we'll help you get trained, we'll help you get educated, and you can stay within us and have a long, illustrious career, and you can give back to your community. So it is a dynamite thing. Now, it's so popular that when I was talking about it at our annual dinner for the educators in the area, they all came out and said, what are you going to do for us? So we can't quite do that for all 16 districts, but even yesterday, I was with Youth Works, and we were over at Northridge High School and middle school, and we had virtual goggles and allowing the students to get that first experience and introduce them to Youth Works. So can you tell I'm a little excited? I probably told you more than you wanted to know.
No,
But it's wonderful, and we want to see it grow.
if you build it, they will come.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. SNAP Outreach and Access. We're going to switch gears now to Job and Family Services. With more than 140,000 customer service calls a year, more than 78,000 citizens concerned about food assistance, Commissioner Dodge, why is meeting this basic need so critical to building self-sufficiency in Montgomery County?
You know, our local job and family services is under severe financial pressure, feeling the effects of funding uncertainty. Now, I am trying to be politically correct and not point fingers, but this is unbelievable what we're facing, unbelievable. As SNAP benefits requirements change, we remain committed to ensuring that every resident here in Montgomery County has reliable access to food while supporting pathways to self-sufficiency. We are working to quickly connect residents with community resources to meet their immediate needs while also linking them to workforce services. Families need access to healthy food to thrive. Gee, that's a no-brainer. And children need healthy food to grow. Again, these are no-brainers, but to succeed. Through the Family Assistance Division, we stand with families during difficult times, and these are going to be difficult times, helping them move toward lasting stability. Our dedicated staff, thank you so much, connects thousands of residents each year to critical food resources and support. I have long fought for programs to fight hunger and lift up families across Montgomery County. Beyond food, these programs open doors to other essential services, giving families the tools that they need to succeed. So watch for more.
Thank you, Commissioner. About 1 in 3 Montgomery County residents receives medical assistance on Medicaid. So Commissioner Rice, each year that averages out to more than 165,000.
Yes, that's a humbling statistic. And what that really points out, that how many people here in our community that how critical it is that our neighbors have access to health care. Because for their future, not only their health, but through their future stability. So Medicaid remains essential. We have that many people relying on it in ensuring that they can get health care when they need it. When I was at Northridge yesterday, I heard a story from one of the board members telling me that her daughter was a teacher in their school system, and a little girl had to come in day after day with an earache because she couldn't have access to health care. And so, of course, she couldn't really learn because she was in pain and they couldn't really do it. So that's a small case, but they can be much more serious. So starting next year, most Medicaid recipients will need to do monthly work or community engagement requirements in order to receive their benefits. And these changes are going to have real impacts on working families. And I would say especially those who are already balancing jobs, childcare, they're trying to go back to school in order to better themselves and provide for a better future for their family. So it is going to be challenging, and we need to understand how many are under this pressure. And we are going to do our best to clearly communicate to those requirements to those individuals. Because the last thing we want to do is for them to mistakenly, they've done nothing wrong, but they didn't comply with something out of not knowing that they would lose coverage. It's so incredibly vital. So we're going to stay focused on connecting our individuals, making sure that every individual and every family that qualifies, they get the coverage they need, because in the long run, it helps us all out to have those in our community, no matter their circumstances, able to access health care, to stay stable, and to be as productive and, in good shape as we possibly can. So we just want to continue to give them opportunities, and we'll be there for them.
There could be some questions about those Medicaid recipients who are physically challenged or too ill to really perform any kind of community engagement or look for work. And so somebody has to come up with a plan, I would assume, to figure out how to help.
We are always working on how we can make things better. Right, team? Right.
Supporting our most vulnerable residents, especially children, is central to Children's Services mission. Commissioner McDonald, can you share how this work and Ohio Star both help more families safely unify?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, I'd like to give just a super thank you to our caseworkers. Our caseworkers deal with some very difficult situations daily. I know when I first became a commissioner and I heard some of the cases, it was heart-rending. It literally touched me to the point where, there were tears. Because these kids don't deserve any of this. But it is so important for each and every one of us to do our part. So if there are any warning signs of abuse and neglect, that is all of our responsibility. In 2025, we had an average of more than 800 children in our custody, including approximately 150 in our youth kinship placement, and that's being with their family members. Our goal is to keep families together as much as we can, when we can, and only when it is safe to do so. Last year, caseworkers helped 348 children reunify with their families. Research shows that children in foster care who can live with relatives experience less trauma and have better outcomes. And that is what our ultimate goal is, to try and keep kids close to their families when and if it's possible. Children's Services has launched Ohio START, which stands for Sobriety, Treatment, and Reducing Trauma. It's a program that gives families that are dealing with substance abuse the support they need, including peer guidance. Every treatment and hands-on case management is available to them. We cannot thank our caseworkers enough. And if you know a caseworker, thank them, because the load that they carry is huge. And we work really hard at making sure that our caseworkers know that they're appreciated and know that we're there beside them for every decision that they make. We support them. And as you've seen over the days, there are individuals that are pointing fingers and saying things are happening that may or may not necessarily be true. We stand by our caseworkers. We stand by the work that they do, and we support them each and every day.
Something else to tell you? Talk about the Human Services Levy. Passed with about 70% of votes last November. That shows strong community support for this approach. Guided funding for more than 40 years. Commissioner McDonald, coming back to you. Can you explain why this levy is so critical to this budget?
Yes, absolutely. As we were talking about the Human Services Levy, the committee that worked to put this on, we struggled. There was a struggle there because we already knew that the monies that we were going to be asking the community to support were not going to be sufficient. But we went on and we kept it at the level that it was. So the Human Services in Montgomery County are a network of programs. They help residents in crisis and protect the most vulnerable in our community. The levy supports children, older adults, people with developmental disabilities, individuals facing mental health or addiction challenges, and those experiencing homelessness. Human Services makes up about 40% of the county's budget. These levy dollars fund essential services without raising taxes. And may I say that again? Without raising taxes. Our levy system is unique because it combines multiple agencies into two levies, ensuring responsible local oversight. Over the decades, we have faced challenges from economic downturns to public health crises and disasters. I do know the help that happened for me in the city of Charlotte during our tornado and the things that we've experienced. But we have always worked together to keep our services strong. We want to thank our voters today for supporting and understanding the need. It is greater now than at any other time. And we thank each and every one of you for the support that you gave to make sure that we got this levy passed.
Yeah, I've been co-chair of the Human Services Levy, I think since I've been a commissioner. It's tough, but I don't think people realize that all of the vulnerable people that are affected by and need the support from the Human Services Levy. And so many residents that, you're either touched by someone in your family or someone that you know or just some relative or something, and it's so critical. And you have to understand how we came to where we are right now, and that is when Ohio was formed many, many years ago. They said, the state of Ohio, we don't want to mess with human services. Let's give that responsibility to counties. So we've taken up that torch and we've carried it very proudly. And back in the early 80s, the county commissioners at the time, we always had just single levies every year. And they just got sick of seeing them when they came to work. There'd be every year something for the seniors, something for the children, something for this, something for that. And they said, we've got to come up with a better way to get this money to our vulnerable citizens. So they came up with this Human Services Levy that basically helps the ones that, and I'll talk about that exactly what some of the programs are. But it is so needed, and I have gotten calls over the years from different counties saying, how did you even start doing that? And they really want to follow it. So there's just a few other counties in the state that actually have a Human Services Levy as opposed to a levy every year. And, I think some of you who, live in Greene County and Warren County, and you drive to and from work, you see those signs up, almost every single year when you come to work. So we're better than that. The Human Services Levy provides safety and stability for children, help older adults remain independent, protect public health, and ensure families experiencing homelessness have access to shelter and resources. These services form the foundation of a strong, thriving community. They include programs that I know y'all know what it is. It's ADAMUS, Children's Services, Developmental Disabilities, Public Health, Homeless Services, and Older Adult Services. Community-based programs include hunger relief, domestic violence support, job readiness, after-school programs, and family coaching. This is kind of the backbone of what we've been talking about today. I mean, it's unbelievable. And so this is why I think we're very proud of the Human Services Levy and the good things that we do here in Montgomery County. And there's always more money that's needed, unfortunately.
Well, since we're on the subject of housing and unhoused.
Yeah.
The reentry ready to rent and homeless solutions and housing. We talked with Commissioner Rice about this. One of the pressing challenges in this community is homelessness.
Absolutely.
Commissioner, can you share where we currently stand in Montgomery County and the steps that the county is taking to make sure everyone has a place to call?
Absolutely. So homelessness, as hopefully most of you know, it impacts more than just individuals. It impacts whole families. It impacts veterans. It impacts businesses. It impacts neighbors across our county. So here's the thing that I think often is a surprise to people, that quite a few of our homeless people are actually, it could be two parents working full time. But given the cost of housing these days and the other constraints, they simply cannot afford to live anywhere. So they might have their children. There are actual cases of the children being with different people they know, and they're living in their car and they're working full-time jobs. So it kind of defies what most people think about as homelessness. So it is a big issue. And once a year, we call it the point in time count. Every January across the nation, it's not exactly the same day, but at the same time, the nation wants to take a look at how many homeless there are. So in 2025, that number was nearly 650 individuals on that date were either in a shelter or, sadly, even worse, unsheltered. And it's January, so think about that. Not a good situation. And I can tell you, I've been on the Homeless Solutions Board now, this is my 8th year, and I know how hard we've worked and how many years they've been at it and the progress we've made. But we are so far from solving this, so far. So the need is still great. The data that they gather then is given to the federal Housing and Urban Development HUD to really inform what is happening both locally as well as nationally. And last year, we were able, through that process, to invest almost $6 million to support shelters, housing, supportive services, and our homeless management information system, HMIS. And actually, we're excited, Jessica, $265,000 grant just a few weeks ago for our HMIS system. So a lot of the information comes through the county, but we work with such a variety of groups, all the way from the city of Dayton, the various jurisdictions, but mostly like faith groups, nonprofits, the shelter organizations, behavioral health places. There's such a huge variety. We get together regularly and talk about what each is doing. But this system is under stress. It is that's an understatement to say the least. And so we are definitely doing all the right things, but there's not enough. And we are also, we announced recently that we're going to invest $100,000 to the city of Dayton, working with their Miami Valley Housing Opportunities to invest in 2 caseworkers to specifically address downtown Dayton homelessness so that we can get those individuals the services and stability they need. So we are taking steps, but the goal overall is to connect people. You've heard me say it again before, get people to the right help at the right time, get them stabilized. We hope it is only once, it's brief, never to be repeated again. And so we do our utmost to do that. So I applaud all of the members, the healthcare providers, the faith organizations, the governments, the nonprofits, on and on and on, because a lot of people in this community are working at it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, the other part you talked about was the rent to own. And that's pretty exciting. Our Office of Reentry, and I know I saw some of them here, is an amazing program that's been around for probably 15 years. A new aspect is that they are now working to tackle the barrier of housing for those who restored citizens who are coming back into our community. So there is a program that they can go through to really help address that aspect, because if they cannot get housing, it's not a good road. So we want to help take down those barriers. We've had 30 graduates of that program just in the last year. So promising things happening. I just want you to know that homelessness, we're doing a lot of things. It's under stress, but we are never giving up.
Commissioner McDonald, now, last year the county unveiled a new inclusive playground at Stillwater Center. Can you tell us about the code? That's the name. How it was designed and the impact it's having on residents of all ages and abilities. And I'd like to direct everybody to these pictures here because they're very, very heartwarming.
Absolutely. Please look at these pictures. It is absolutely phenomenal what this has brought to Stillwater Center. Each of our residents over there have an opportunity to be able to enjoy each and every aspect of this playground. Beautiful. So last August, we unveiled this new inclusive playground at Stillwater, and it is called the Flow. The playground was fully funded with nearly $710,000 of ARPA funds. It was designed by Stillwater Center residents of all ages and was designed for them of all ages and abilities. The features include a wheelchair accessible swing, a merry-go-round, wider ramp, and a soft surface with musical instruments and more. Stillwater Center is the home of nearly 100 residents with profound disabilities and or significant medical needs, and about 25% of them are children. The code provides a space for joy, connection, and well-being, ensuring that these residents can play, explore, and feel the sense of belonging. And how many of you all know we want that for each and every one of our own children? And we want to make sure that this is provided for the children of Montgomery County who have been placed in our care. We take our job very, very seriously, and I so much appreciate what Dr. Michelle and her staff does there. A phenomenal job with those who are the most challenged in Montgomery County.
Commissioner Dodge, nourishing Montgomery County. You have long championed, we know, access to fresh, affordable food. Can you tell us how you and your team host Nourishing Montgomery County? And this is to create an event that's fun and educational.
Mhm. You know, I've been an advocate for food access since right around the time I became a commissioner. And this event has been one of my favorite initiatives because of its impact. Last year's Nourishing Montgomery County event at Second Street Market was well attended. It was also, may I say, the hottest day of the year. But I was there. It was a great crowd, a great crowd. The event showcased many of our partners, including the Food Bank, Five Rivers Metro Parks, Ohio State University Extension, and others, giving residents the opportunity to explore a variety of local resources. The event highlighted efforts to support local farms, improve food access, and address food insecurity. Our next Nourishing Montgomery County event is coming up down at the Second Street Market, August the 8th. I'm keeping my fingers crossed it's not the hottest day of the year, so please, everybody come, it really is, it's a great event. Thank you.
EDGE grants, Commissioner McDonald. EDGE funding was paused in 2025. Can you explain why that happened? And share more about the Economic Development Government Equity EDGE grant program and its role in supporting our local economy.
Absolutely. This goes along with what Commissioner Dodge has just shared, why there were some challenges and some changes to EDGE this year. In 2025, the EDGE program was temporarily paused so that we could make significant investments in the food bank. Many of you individuals lost their benefits and things have changed. And we were getting calls in our office for where to find food. And when you have to call a county commissioner to find food, you know we've got to come up with an answer fast. And we actually did. We redirected $1.5 million to help access food insecurity across Montgomery County. And I want to thank our local jurisdictions and business partners who supported this decision. Because again, it was the decision to feed people versus the decision to celebrate initiatives that other communities wanted to have happen in their community. And we chose feeding people. And we know that that was most important. This decision helped us to respond to this critical need in real time. This reflects our commitment to making sure public dollars are going where they're needed the most. Looking ahead, we're excited to bring the EDGE program back in 2026 with a $1.25 million available. Through EDGE, we support businesses' growth, attraction, and critical infrastructure projects that help strengthen our local economy. Historically, the $1 in EDGE funding generates $55 in private investment. For more than 30 years, this program has helped retain over 40,000 jobs and has created 36,000. Local jurisdictions can use these funds for things like property acquisition, building improvements, and infrastructure upgrades that help their community and their projects move forward and to succeed. And we want them to know that we are supporting them in every way possible, doing everything that we can do to see every community in Montgomery County succeed.
Commissioner Rice, let's talk about explaining the role of the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, that program, and how it helps Montgomery County support residents and how it helps strengthen people.
Absolutely, okay. So CDBG is a program that's been around for more than 50 years. And really, it's administered by HUD, and it provides flexible federal funding to counties and cities. And the main thrust is really to support low and moderate income residents while addressing just broader community needs like housing, infrastructure, and economic opportunity. And what it allows us to do is actually to take a flexible approach to federal funding to just more match with the local, what will make a difference here, because all of our communities are so different. And we end up, when used properly, we're gonna have stronger neighborhoods, we're gonna have more vibrancy of our economy, and it will fit the situation. You've got a whole list up here, but 3 examples I was just gonna throw out. They're very different, so it really depends on what that community's need. So we provide county court operations with $500,000 through CDBG. Germantown Historic Covered Bridge Rehabilitation. That's a once in a lifetime project, $125,000. Miami Valley Fair Housing Center, we give them another $125,000. So the list gives you an even broader, but the point to remember is that you can really design it to your community and what is needed. So there are an application process, they get reviewed. We never have enough CDBG money for all the projects that are wanted, and they get evaluated. But the goal is to spread it around and have the flexibility we need so that everybody can move forward.
Thank you for that. Commissioner Dodge, talking about housing again, and attainable housing is certainly a top priority for this county. Can you explain how the HOME program helps support this goal while still leveraging federal funds and the impact that it's had on residents and neighborhoods?
You know, we're committed to expanding access to safe, affordable housing right here in Montgomery County through the HOME program. That's HOME, ME. And guess what? It's a federal HUD grant. And guess what? It's going to be cut. There's going to be cuts ahead. So we fund, and that funds housing development and rehabilitation for low and moderate income residents. These dollars support projects with real measurable outcomes, from building new housing to helping residents stay in their homes. By partnering with local organizations and developers, we maximize impact and strengthen neighborhoods. Funding can be used for homeowner assistance to prevent displacement, housing development, site and land expenses, and tenant-based rental assistance for up to 2 years.
Thank you. Commissioners, the Animal Resource Center has launched new programs and continued essential services for pets and owners throughout the county. How do these efforts help our community and promote responsible pet care? We'll start with Commissioner McDonald.
Yes, absolutely. First of all, it's a department that I have fallen in love with, because you can't go over there and see all those beautiful dogs and not absolutely fall in love. I want to take all of them up, which I cannot do. But it is just such a joy to be a part of it. But last year, the ARC had a very busy year supporting pets and residents. The team responded to thousands of calls for service, helping lost dogs, being reunited with their families, and providing critical care. Through the food pantry and education programs, we supported hundreds of pets and their owners. So as families were getting food through our food program, we were also feeding our pets. And we think that's phenomenal. Adoption, fosters, and return to owner efforts ensured hundreds of dogs found loving homes and were reunited with their families. Our micro-tipping program and other services help ensure our pets are safe, and it gives their residents peace of mind. These efforts demonstrate how the ARC continues to save lives, strengthen communities, and support pet owners every day. I want to thank the team at MIC for all their hard work. It is not an easy job. When you hear that there are 140,000 dogs in Montgomery County, it is not an easy job. And our shelter can hold, what, 80 dogs. So what we've been doing over with the ARC is educating people as to proper pet ownership, and knowing that it is your responsibility to make sure that your dog is taken care of. And just this week at the Westtown Shopping Center, we had a wonderful event where people were able to come out and get their dogs vaccines and to have their needs met with vet as well as some individuals from Wright State. They came and joined us, but being able to have citizens who want to do the right thing, but often can't afford it, to be able to afford that for their dogs. I know at one point when I did have pets, I called to find out just what their basic shots were. One visit, I had 2 dogs. It was $120. They were able to get shots and things taken care of this past week for $10. And that certainly does make a difference for our citizens in Montgomery County. And they did come out, and we think it's a phenomenal program. We thank you so much, ARC.
Yeah, so I'm pleased to announce that last month, our ARC team launched a 3-month life-saving pilot with Best Friends Animal Society and regional partners. And what's part of this, the goal is to really increase dog adoptions and the number of transfers to rescues by removing the barriers to treatable medical conditions, as well as just the capacity limit. So if you don't have enough room, you got to find other alternatives to get those same number of dogs in good places. So this is a great collaboration. The partners include SIXA, Humane Society of Greater Dayton, Adoptive Pet Rescue, and Halo Canine Behavior. And Halo Canine Behavior, what they really provide, their secret sauce, is that they do behavioral assessments, because some dogs have been through a lot. And so you need to determine, how well they'll get along with not only people, but other dogs and whatnot. So they come to really help and give advice and help with that aspect of it. So the whole goal is to improve placements. And so the pilot aims to increase the live rate, release rate through all of these rescue transfers and getting the adoption numbers up and placing more dogs in loving homes. So please, 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 if you're willing to foster or any of those things, we can always use people from the 3 members of our family have a definite place in everyone's heart. So we're working at it, and I can't wait to see the results of this exercise.
You want me to follow up with something?
Two tough acts to follow.
I know, just very quickly. I'm a dog lover. All my dogs over many, many years only come from parks. And the last one I got had been abused. And I was a little nervous, but he now is the biggest baby in the world. And he knows every chair to sleep on, couch to sleep on. I mean, he's got that house in a turmoil because it's all about him. But thank heavens. And one thing, because we have to keep our pets safe, and it's a shared responsibility. I mean, thank heavens that this person was caught by the police as he's picking him up by his neck and kicking him. And that's the dog I have now. Anyway, I love him to death. I love him to death. In fact, next time I want my picture up there with him.
What's his name, Commissioner?
Tyson. Anyway, you see these dogs here? I'm just going to say one thing. I want every single one of you, before you go to lunch, you go to ARC and you can either foster it, volunteer, or donate. I mean, these are so important things, because, we love our little 4-legged friends, and they're so vulnerable so many times. Anyway, and you can also look them up at mcanimals.org. So, everybody, that's my spiel. I always have to end with talking about Tyson. What can I
Say, Tyson is a very lucky man. For sure. He truly is. I'm glad he's okay now.
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald, here's your baby. You held Montgomery County's very first arts forum just a few weeks ago. Can you tell us why this event was so important and why the arts mean so much to the community, especially ours?
Sure. Absolutely. So approximately 20 years ago, before I became a city council member in the city of Trotwood, I was involved with the Dayton Playhouse. And the Dayton Playhouse is a very small place over in Wakefield Gardens. But what I loved about being a part of something like that was you could actually take your whole family to see a show because it was extremely affordable, it was very, very small, but it was very intimate. And you could actually see your mother, father, sister, or brother on stage and really, really enjoy it. And I developed a huge love for the arts and wanted to see it actually grow in communities. And it was something that I felt that if most of our young people had opportunities to express themselves in the areas of the arts a bit more with support, we could actually do some things throughout Montgomery County, and that's why I'm championing it. I am so, so happy to have championed this event a few weeks ago. The event brought together arts councils, agencies, venues, arts groups, businesses, and community partners to explore the impact of the arts and culture in our region. The keynote speaker was our illustrious, and I absolutely love her, Lisa Wagner, the executive director of the 11th Pavilion. She highlighted the vital role that arts play in our community. Breakout sessions focused on arts and social action, how businesses can support the arts, and expanding access to the arts for everyone. Because I truly do believe the arts are for everyone. Every family cannot afford a $100 ticket to go to a show, but you can afford something that really is supported as we undergird many of these organizations. I want to thank the Office of Strategic Initiatives for helping make this event possible and for understanding and seeing the vision that I have for us moving this ahead. This forum is so important because arts and culture, they strengthen a community with deep economic impact. The success of this event, it showed just how important this event was to the actual community and bringing that conversation up. So I'm hoping that each and every one of you that are interested in the arts will invest in the arts, will support the arts, and do your part to make sure that we lift the arts up. Because again, not only is it entertainment, there is a huge economic development driver to communities that have arts. Because what goes with that is food and restaurants and hotels, bars, everything. And all of that is under the auspices of arts and culture. And we just want to continue to have that grow in Montgomery County. And thank you, Lisa, she's out there in the audience. Thank you.
On the same subject, can you tell us about the Montgomery County Arts and Cultural District and highlight how the organizations receive support through that district?
Absolutely. The Montgomery County Arts and Cultural District supports and preserves the arts across Montgomery County. And it is also a driver of economic development and its growth. The county commissioners provide $1 million each year to fund arts and cultural programs, and it helps the arts and the organizations thrive. These organizations receiving operations dollars that are supported by Montgomery County are Dayton Live, Dayton Performing Arts Alliance, the Dayton Art Institute, Dayton Contemporary Dance Company, Boonshaw Museum of Natural History, the Neon, and many, many more. The arts make Montgomery County a great place to live, to work, and visit, and we are proud to be those sponsors. Because when we talk about wanting to retain young people in our community, they want more than a job. They want culture, they want arts, they want things that are in other places. And Montgomery County does have the ability to provide that, providing all of us see that as an initiative we can support.
We pointed out, we sort of mentioned that Lisa Wagner from 11th Pavilion is here. She wants to stand a little bit.
Please.
Say thank you.
Season reveals tonight, 7 o'clock.
What a coincidence. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks so very much. We have come to the end of this wonderful opportunity to talk about this. What happens from dirt and water to the arts, and what happens in this community. And I'm still really interested in that tipping. I want to say that. I'm going to say that. I think that's fantastic. So we're going to wrap up now, but I'd like to offer each of you an opportunity to share any final thoughts or remarks you'd like to leave with us, Commissioners. documents.
Okay, good, okay. I have a half-hour speech to talk.
You sir, you having lunch, sir?
Thank you all for coming, we appreciate it, hopefully you got just sort of a quick overview of what we contend with every day. But I have to give a shout out to Michael Colbert and our wonderful, wonderful staff. You make us look great. Although, Michael, is there any way that we can hire a hairdresser? I know my hair is a mess. Anyway, I think I saw 3 or 4 people get up and walk out, so I guess we did pretty good. Thank you all, thank you.
Absolutely. First of all, again, I would absolutely like to thank the administrator and the staff for everything that you do to make all of us look good in Montgomery County. This has been a challenging year for us. We have had to make really, really tough decisions, but we want you to know that these decisions that were made were very thoughtful. They were very directed by data and information, but most of all, they were directed by the heart to make sure that we support Montgomery County in each and everything that it needs to do to be a shining example for each and every one of you to be proud of. I am absolutely pleased and blessed to be a Montgomery County Commissioner. I'm honored to do the work that I do, and I'm so thankful again to have so many of you that are supporting us and making sure that we do and are making the best decisions for everyone in Montgomery County. Yes.
I agree wholeheartedly with both of my colleagues. And I would just say that true leadership means standing with our partners, and you are our partners. Respecting the expertise and the insights and the treasure and talent that all of us bring to these, because working together, I know that we will have the best outcomes for our community. Montgomery County's strength, you've heard me say it once, you've probably heard me say it 100 times, is that it's our people. It's our grit, it's our innovative spirit, and it is in our DNA to collaborate. And I want to once again thank our 4,200 plus employees for the amazing work they do. I respect and value the work of each and every one. You play a pivotal role, whether you understand it or not. I want to thank all of our partners in the room because you also bring so much to our community. It's only together that we, I think we're a shining star. I often say that we are unlike so many other counties. We do so much. We punch above our weight class, and if you've heard me say that 100 times, but it's true. When we go, we really see that we are doing amazing things. Are we done? No. Do we have problems? Of course. But together, whatever comes our way in the times ahead, we can get through this. And not just get through this, but we are going to succeed in spite of the things that come at us because we are Montgomery County. So thank you for making the time to be here. Help us spread the story of all that we do. We've just taken a glimpse, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And great to the communications team. You pulled this off. You've made us look really great, and I appreciate you all. And I agree wholeheartedly. I think all 3 of us do. It is the honor of a life to serve as a county commissioner.
Start something in here with this.
No.
Well, with residents and employees and smart, reliable government, we have Montgomery County. That's what we have, all of that, all combined. So we thank all of you, we thank all the folks here who are doing all they can to make this a great place to live and work. We thank you for your direction. And we have Michael Colbert, who's waiting patiently. Thank you for your direction as well. And we have wrapped this up, except for Mr. Colbert.
Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause. applause for Marcia Bonhart. And last but not least, interpreters of the deaf. Thank you all for being here. Safe travels on the way back home. God bless you.
Thank you.